Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. Before I show the first read, I want to make sure you've picked which union you want for you. So you can pick 1, 2, or 3, and that will be the union that most relates to your situation, okay? So make sure you picked it. Is it picked? 1, 2, or 3? All right, here we go. I also have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read as well. So I'm going to clear first 2. And here we are, we're going to go into read number 1 first, okay? So here we go. Okay, so this is union read number 1. If you pick number 1, and even if you didn't pick number 1, it still may apply to you. Just a little bit of clearing. Take a deep breath, you guys. Let's clear all negative, dark, and viral energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Sorry if it shakes a little bit. It's not the most stable surface that it's on, but this is read number 1. Today is April 20th, 2020. The 20 is all about judgment. And the day adds up to the 28, 1, which is the 2 of Wands or the Twin Flames. So it's all about judgment, being judged, judging others, final judgments coming in, announcements made, wake-up call to action, decisions, and all that energy that goes with those things. So the 20 is also a 2, which has to do with feminine energy, and the 28 is a 1, which has to do with masculine energy. And very much about the masculine and the feminine today. And again, the read actually is not the Divine Masculine read. I made a mistake. It's the same as I did yesterday. The Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine read, but in my normal setup, okay? So we have the 3 union reads, and then the main spread with my 7-deck read that I usually do. And so here we go. Okay, so this first read was done at 10:14 this morning. And 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, 14 is the Temperance card or the Angels. And the underlying energy for this one is the 10 of Cups. Am I looking at the wrong one? Hold on. 1. So hold on 1 second. This may not be number 1. Okay, here's number 1. Sorry about that, guys. This is union read number 1. So we have the 10 of Cups as the underlying energy over here. We have the center energy of the 2 of Cups, and then the closing energy of the Ace of Pentacles here. The 3 cards here are the feminine energies coming into the read. These 3 here are the masculine energy going out. This is the 3D, 4D, 5D, and vertically is the feminine, the masculine, and then the bridge between them in between, okay? So we have the 10 of Cups there as the underlying energy, and then the 2 of Cups in the middle. So family and fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, going from that energy of the group to one-on-one fulfillment. And then the underlying divine feminine energy coming into the read is the Knight of Cups, the Hangman, and the 9 of Cups, ushering in love, creating 0 point, hanging out in Tao to find self-happiness and get wish, and the 6 rays of the Mary Magdalene energy, transmuting dogma into spirituality. So the 3D energy is the Page of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. So the Divine Feminine inspired by initiative and getting their flame back. Or the Divine Masculines with a mask and burning tip. So there may be some masculines who may be dealing with STD or urinary tract infection or circumcision infection even was coming up here. And the Divine Masculine inspired to learn his abilities, to bridge by the Queen of Swords pulling the truth trigger once again. So that's the 3D. And the 4D is the 9 of Wands, the 2 of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles. The Divine Feminine wounded warrior and the Divine Masculine abundant, whether it's his family, business, or community, or the savior energy, being that the divine feminine is the wounded warrior, the victim mentality, they bridge by the Two of Cups, one-on-one, face-to-face, bonding in the secret garden under an arched bridge. The divine feminine in their masculine as the wounded warrior, or the wounded warrior masculine at home, and the divine masculine in his feminine as privileged and entitled, or a redhead who lives with them, and or owns lots of crystals, perhaps gazebo and fern, and bridging away from the wounded warrior and superficial person to come together one-on-one without distractions in the 4D. The 5D is the Four of Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Page of Swords. So the divine feminine meditating, relaxing at the water or the beach, and the divine masculine finding a bit of light. A 5D message perhaps, got to the top out of the cave. Underground or bottom dweller produced his own light, a little bit at a time. So he finally came up from underneath the ground to the light. He found his way out and perhaps is now getting his own messages. So the divine feminine here, who's in their masculine today, was coming up as 3D tribal worship. And then I was getting island, like Gilligan's Island, when they used to come across tribes that they didn't know were there. And sacrifices were coming up there regarding tribal worship. So the divine feminine in that tribal worship energy, deeply wounded, and then in 4D surviving, and then going within in the 5D alone to meditate and find peace. Definitely for me too, there's been stress, heart stress is coming up, and upper back stress today. The bridge is really feminine energy here between them. The Queen of Swords tells the truth about the Two of Cups, or their bond, and suffers in silence after doing that. And then the divine masculine, who's in his feminine today, is learning his 3D abilities. And then in the 4D, dealing with abundance and wealth, right? In large families, businesses, or groups. And then, and that fantasy family. And then in the 5D, can be the community as well. In the 5D, a message and or child of light, learning to get their own messages, to allow in and shine out. So outgoing for the divine masculine here is the Chariot, the Tower, and the Four of Pentacles. And Durga was coming up because the person driving the chariot in the SIRIAN Starseed deck very much looks like Durga to me. So Durga is suddenly in the divine masculine's heart, right? So on his side, he's feeling that energy of Durga, that feminine, powerful energy. And I was reading a little bit about Durga too. Some other stuff came up. So the 8 to 10 arms, or quadrants in the different Hindu directions in life, and her main energy being the destroyer of evil. So she's got many different names, right? But it was very interesting because the supreme consciousness is called Atman, right? A-A-T-M-A-N, which is one letter short of Batman and Catman, which is the reference to Catwoman, but in her masculine. So we have the A, B, and C's of Batman here. Atman, Batman, and Catman. So that means supreme consciousness in Hindu, the highest form of truth. And without Durga, Lord Shiva has no expression, and vice versa, Durga has no existence without him. So just a lot of information about the Eastern religions were coming up here. And also a fortnight was coming up because the Devi Paksha fortnight of the goddess was coming up, and fortnight came up yesterday, which is 2 weeks, which has to do with how, and yesterday it was coming up as how much can you achieve in the 2 weeks, are, in other words, from the new moon powering up to the full moon, and then the full moon down to the new moon again in releasing things. So some of that information was coming from speakingtree.in and also learningreligions.com. And I was getting connection at 10:44 as well. All right, so as we go on with this read, I turned the page, it was 1111. And the number that added up on my grid here with the numbers on these cards was 58, which is the Four of Swords, which is the masculine and feminine connecting in the 5D. Also, we had messages here of the Queen of Wands being complete and ending. Like, so there's a death and transformation, transition. The world is complete. The cycle is done. And this is regarding the Queen of Wands, which has to do with the end of karma as well. So in the other direction, on the other axis of this, was destined hermit. In the end, in perhaps a divorce, because we had the Justice card coming up, destined to Hierophant. Destined hermit in an end with Justice, and destined to the Hierophant. So there's Virgo, Libra, and Taurus are all coming up in this read, as well as the energies of going within and receiving truth and balance in connection with God, basically. That's the overall energy there. Also, between the cards, because I do these energies too, like the Knight of Cups going over to the masculine's position there, which is the Chariot, the Hangman to the Tower, and then the Nine of Cups to the Four of Pentacles there. And those energies were coming up as the Hangman with sudden events, epiphanies and or an idea, self-love, 6 rays, and their wish of the divine masculine's heart. The 10 of Cups to the 2 of Cups to the Ace of Pentacles at the end. Family and or emotional fulfillment going towards one-on-one and then to a new life together. So I was also getting adept of hanging the cha, the tav. So like mazel tov, tav came up, which means good, but it also means rope. So there was there was a insinuation here regarding hanging yourself. So someone good at hanging themselves. Adept of hanging the cha, which is 6. It's also the lovers. It's also weeping, rising, fearing, coming, dancing, and dancing alone. So very good at hanging out alone as the lovers, or weeping and rising above the tab, the good, or the rope, which can be good at hanging yourself. So it was interesting because when I went to look up the different meanings of tav and mazel, the word of the day in Wiktionary was a Judaism word. Yarzeit, or Yarzeit, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, which is the anniversary of a death. You know, when you would light a candle, that type of energy. So the foreign word also came up, was Afrikaans, and that was Daggazol, which is a joint, but not a body joint, but actually a weed joint. So that was coming up, pretty funny. All right, so weeds coming up today too. All right, so tav can mean rope, seed, bite, but also, like I said, good, as in mazel tov. And mazel literally means darling, but in the tradition of mazel tov in Hebrew, it means star or constellation, fate, luck. And that's where you get the mazel tov from. So good stars or good luck. And then cha was coming up again, which is tea, dance, dancing the cha-cha. Korean foot, that's a measurement. To come, not, crying, weeping. 6, that, who, whom. To dawn, to rise, to fear, to be afraid. A father, a dude, a beaver, all come up there for cha. So the divine feminine making peace with her masculine. The divine masculine may feel that the divine feminine is at war, wreaking havoc with his peace, and he then hiding in the bat cave, but realizing that he's Batman, not Atman. Okay, so he's not totally enlightened yet. Afraid of his feminine power. All right, so this is about the masculine coming into not only his feminine, but the part of him that his feminine that's powerful. And that's a lot of that has to do with the Queen of Wands as well. So that is read number 1. Okay, so now we're going to go into read number 2, which was the one you saw before. So this is read number 2. This was at 11:49 to 50, which is justice, and then the 9 and 10 of cups, which is emotional fulfillment on your own, and then emotional fulfillment amongst a family or a group. So the union is the underlying energy of the indigo. All right, so we have the indigo here. He's like offering a big diamond right there. the central energy is the higher self, and then we end up with the Queen of Wands, which I was just bringing up. So I guess that's why. So the higher self brings a magical proposal. The indigo brings a magical proposal to their higher self. So the feminine energy is more in the masculine of the indigo today, and the masculine was more in his feminine empowered energy. So that's how it works. So when you see the indigo in the divine masculine, divine feminine read today, it's really more about the feminine in her masculine, being that indigo. But in the read today, it's reversed. But here it's upright for this read. So the indigo has a magical proposal to his higher self, which is his twin or her twin. The underlying divine feminine is the hangman, Luna, and guidance. Hanging out at low tide, hanging out at low tide toward the new moon, which is on the 22nd, so it's only 2 days away, so we're very much coming into that energy, with your guides, hanging with Lu and Buddha. I was getting Louis, so this is your shadow side, and Buddha, your enlightened self, and the Sphinx, right? The Akashic Records, from wisdom to enlightenment. So it's a lot about Atman, okay? So now I'm going to have to use that all the time with Bat, because we're always referring to Batman. So now we have Atman, Batman, and Katman. So the enlightenment is Atman, the masculine is Batman, and the feminine is Katman. Okay. So hanging out with Louis and Buddha, the Sphinx, from wisdom to enlightenment. The 3D here is Starseed, 9 of Swords, and 5 of Pentacles. The divine feminine with fresh download and start, planting new seeds in their crown. So getting downloads and upgrades. The divine masculine in the Mary Magdalene cave, putting the pieces of the crystal puzzle together away from the crowd or the group. Bridged in the 3D by suffering in silence, purging stress, or just up at night, not sleeping well, just purging and crying it out, and perhaps hiding, but maybe hanging out in nature as well. So there's nothing wrong with the purging that you're going through. Just know that it needs to come out right now. There's definitely a lot of stress in the heart and the shoulders and the back that needs to come out. In the 4D, we have the 3 of Cups, the higher self, and the 3 of Swords on the masculine side. So the divine feminine is the 3 of Cups coming together in joy. The divine masculine is the 3 of Swords, the lighthouse in the storm, receiving lightening, which is N-E-N, lowercase or capital N for me is code Jesus. So the light of Jesus in a strike and a quickening, bridged by the higher selves together. In calm water under a bridge, again, that curved bridge, with a dark moon, which is the new moon, with a sliver of light. So that's where we are right now, just that sliver of light before the new moon. The divine feminine celebrates, the divine masculine separates, and they come together as their higher selves. And I want to bring up the quickening too, because I keep getting the message that this new moon has to do with like fast tracking out. I was getting like out the back jack when I'm doing reads. I was getting that as the masculine's quickening at this new moon, literally like fast tracking the journey to go much faster in the end than the feminine has so far, okay? So the divine feminine celebrates, the divine masculine separates, and they come together as their higher selves. So that's that high 5D energy. And then but that's in the 4D. And then in the 5D is ascension, karma, and solar deity. The divine feminine ascends with the world in her right hand, being very empowered in her masculine, as the divine masculine shines light fully exposed in the sun. The bridge between them via karma, which doesn't exist in the 5D, because you have instant manifestation of the world exposed, the sunshine, and completion along with closure. All right, so in 5D we don't have karma, and the reason we don't have karma is because we manifest so quickly. Your karma comes right back at you. It's not like you really can manifest it. It's so instant now. So the divine feminine is in the huge download, or a big bomb drops for a fresh new start coming together with the world. The divine masculine in the Mary Magdalene cave without light, to walk in her shoes of separation with light or without light and follow guidance. It's like, walking in the dark. So the masculine's walking in the feminine's shoes, walking in the dark, following only his guidance to the central sunlight. And then the bridge between them is the suffering and silence and purging, to their higher self. It's like bringing all those energies up to their 5D self in order to clear the karma residual, that last little bit, just like revving your engine, like getting the last little bits of sparks off. And I was getting bits and pieces, and that's from Bridesmaids, right? He says bits and pieces. So that was coming up, and that was at 12:04, which is the Hangman and the Emperor. So very masculine energy there. So at 12:05, then going from the Hangman and the Emperor to the Hierophant, which is more of that enlightened state, is the outgoing divine masculine energies of the Knight of Cups, Abundance, and the Page of Wands. In the green room, emotions over a coffee cup, opening their heart to abundance and mothering, and inspired by flame, mother, and children. Children to mother, mother to father of deity. All right, so it's like the order of things. The masculine's looking at how the children learn from the mother then learns from the father, and then it trickles down the other way as well. The father then has to connect to source. So seeing his role in all this, because he needs to get these downloads from source in order to be that enlightened person, to be the example for the mother, because that passes down then from the mother to the children and so on to other people out in the community. And Spirit was connecting with me there. So the divine feminine is the indigo and magic, coming into the higher self in the center of the reed, and then that higher self connecting with the masculine in his Queen of Wands energy, or that feminine, being in the feminine energy, walking in her shoes as the drama queen, as the creative person, as the mother, and as the young child, but all of the different kinds of feminine side, putting himself in all the feminine roles, his twin, his mother, his partner, the divine feminine being the spiritual masculine, except in 5D, she's feminine because the feminine is more powerful in the 5D, so she's still in that kind of masculine energy. In the 5D masculine, he is more subservient. The Hangman to the Knight of Cups, the Moon to abundance and guidance to the Page of Wands, is the Hangman wisdom to actually being love all the time, and then the Moon shadow goddess to the Earth sun goddess, and the guides to the inspired. Okay, so then the number on the grid came up for this read is number 20, which is judgment. The numbers were very few in this one, which is very rare. So judgment, the call to action was coming up, mother to child. Source energy, so a 0 came up. I think that's the first time I've gotten a 0 on a line. So source, lovers, and temperance, or in other words, divine lovers, patient angels. And then on the other axis was the Empress and the Hermit dance, being love and strong within. So again, heeding the call to action of the mother to the child. So the masculine in his feminine, understanding the role of being the mother to child, like the father to the wife, and then the Godhead to the masculine in the family unit. But then again, how this is changing, because now it's more equality. So it's both the mother and the father receiving from source, and then passing it on to the children. And then the children also receiving directly from source. So there's no hierarchy anymore, per se. The divine feminine clearinghouse of Atlantis and Lemuria. So she's clearing out the last of it. So it's not only the divine feminine clearing out death and helping people transition, but clearing out all the old timelines of Lemuria and Atlantis, along with death, where the masculine's clearing all the drama from the 3D on the ground, right? So the divine masculine experiencing the truth, the feminine in 3D life, and that's why they've always been surrounded by women, because they would have to learn to walk in their shoes. Their aloneness, their knowing, their wisdom, and their actively lovingness, their abundant mothers, and the serving of dicks. And that was coming up in all which ways you hear it, okay? In summary, the Queen of Wands with 3 sets of arms, rolls, or hats, hanging with Lu and God, adept of C, or the Christ consciousness, the Abunda, and the Page of Wands. The divine feminine hanging in the shadow and the light. The divine masculine good at the Christ consciousness as being the mother as Da, and the boy at the same time. Okay? So being the mother to his children, as well as the father, and the little boy at the same time. So seeing himself in his feminine role, but in all ways of his masculine self as well, right? The father, the lover, and the little boy. So she is the moon in 3D. He is the sun in 5D here, bridging the gap via one big download across the board diagonally through the guides. Lemurian message that goes through Atlantis first before the moon phase of the false light and then to the divine feminine. So you can see where all this distortion can come in as it comes down to 3D. And in her divine masculine hanging man, being wise with new perspectives. She, the magic man, and he, the mother and child here. All right, so that's read number 2. That ended at 12:28 to 29, which is the hangman, and then the 2 of wands and the 3 of wands, the twin flames being present. All right, so now we have read number 3. So if you pick number 3, this is your read. And this one started at 12:31 to 32, which is the hangman, and then the 5 and 6 of wands. So the conflict or expansion energy, and then the 6 of wands, which is the journeyman. So going on the journey and leading the way. So the underlying energy here is the 5 of swords or orbs in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck. The central energy is the king of orbs or swords, and then we have the luna or the moon at the end. So the 5 of swords here is the frog prince. He's literally green, and he's not quite human yet. He's in between that growth spurt. That's why it's such a war within, because he's trying to get from being a frog to being a human prince. So the underlying energy of the 5 of swords of the king, and then to the central card of the king of swords, the frog prince becomes the king of swords, the man of integrity. The underlying divine feminine energies, the 3 of cups, 9 of cups, and 5 of cups, coming together in joy, happy with self, getting wish with the 6 rays of Mary Magdalene, and then grieving, unable to look up at the 2 of cups, sitting outside perhaps. So there's a lot of that today. The 3D is the 4 of cups, queen of cups, and ascension card. So the divine feminine, an island unto herself, there she goes wishing again, and the divine masculine ascending with the world in his right hand. So now they've switched roles. Here the masculine has the world in his right hand. Bridging via the queen of cups, emotions, loving, nurturing, intuitive, and mothering. At 12:38, he's the tough female, striking while hot, while she is the sweet dreamer who's longing, the female, both needing mothering. The 4D is reason, king of swords, and 5 of wands, where the divine feminine is Santa Claus, giving up the false hand for a reason, or no reason at all, or keeping the home fires burning, while the divine masculine is dealing with conflict and expansion, drama, games, or secret society. And the bridge between them is the king of swords, truth, honor, and live and die by the sword, the stone pillar of the community. That was the 1241, which is the hangman and the ace of cups, right? And what does the community do to the hangman? They hang them out to dry. All right. So again, the fast track portal, the quickening of the masculine here, coming up on the 22nd. So we turn the page, it's still 1241 of the hangman and the ace of cups, having to give himself self-love. Master of thoughts and words. He fights for the right or to win. She gives for no reason at all. And they need to bridge those two energies by both being more moderate of ego and more of truth, honor, and that epiphany or that epitome of the moral man or woman. So that was 4D. And then 5D is the 2 of pentacles, 9 of swords, and 3 of wands. The divine feminine surrenders choices to source. The divine masculine opens to the present moment. So you see the feminine really surrendering to source. At the same time, the masculine is opening to the flame, which are just 2 perspectives of the same thing. They just come from different opposite sides of the coin. Okay, so that was a perfect way of seeing that. The divine feminine surrenders her choices to source, while the divine masculine opens his heart to the present moment, and only one flame. So they don't have to make a choice. She gives up and he opens up to source, to flame. 2 perspectives, same thing. Bridged by suffering in silence or purging it out, time alone or outside, allowing what needs to come up to come, surrendered and open-hearted. So the divine feminine looks up to the star or mazel on rock in turbulent seas asking for guidance on how to get that fourth cup without falling into crazy emotions again, and then going into the Emperor, Santa, loving man who gives to all. And then she goes to the man who surrenders all up to Source in her backyard or in Bermuda or at the Hedges and the Keys or Heathrow, Stonehenge, all hinges on thee. The Divine Masculine comes up as the being complete and strong in the 3D. The Divine Feminine dealing with drama in 4D, because he is the yeah, because this is coming up, you know how the Queen of Wands was over here in the last read, so she was coming up through this energy as well. There's only that one flame from the feminine over here. It's like passing that flame over to this drama, so it can all be transmuted out in the same bunch. So let's see here. Divine Feminine looks up to the star, Mazel, on rock in turbulent seas asking for guidance on how to get that fourth cup without falling into, right? Without falling into all this turbulent water, because there's another cup over on this rock. She has 3 over here behind her. Let's see if I can get that any more clear. So without going into that crazy energy again, and then going into the Emperor Santa after, you know, wishing upon that star, being her I'm just blanking out on the word, but being the person who gives to everyone, in her masculine power, where she is able to give to everyone, and then the man at the top in the 5D who surrenders everything up to Source, right? Basically you're surrendering all their power, being powerless in their backyard, like I said. So Bermuda came up, the Keys, your own hedges in your yard, or at Heathrow, Stonehenge, all hinges on thee. The Divine Masculine, complete and strong with the world, right, ascending, in his Divine Feminine, who's strong, though. You see the world there is a feminine on the masculine side. So he's in his very strong feminine in the 3D, but dealing with drama in the 4D, and then expansion to the present moment and the flame in 5D. The bridging between them is the Queen of Cups in the 3D, loving, kind, and nurturing, right, and intuitive, to the King of Swords in the 4D, so elevating to the Swords energy, which is the same order as the Tarot deck, right? It starts in Wands, goes to Cups, and then Swords, and then Pentacles. So here we're moving from the Cups to the Swords energy in the 4D of the truth, and then to the 9 of Swords, suffering and silence, which by the way is 63, which is also the parenting card, which came up in the read today. So it has to do with suffering and silence because of the kids, but it's also parenting yourself and parenting your parents here. Allowing yourself to bring your suffering into the 5D to give it up to Source. Allow all of you to be present and to surrender. So outgoing Divine Masculine in this read is the 10 of Swords, the Lovers, and the King of Pentacles. Ending pain or painful end, back treatments or back pain today. I'm definitely feeling a lot of back pain today. Lovers, affection for the King of Pentacles and Akashic Records or crystal skulls. And the summary is the moon, the night, the new moon, or the false light, and a new start. The 5 of Swords to the King of Swords, to the moon, the frog to the prince, the growth and the war within. To get to the King of Swords, the moral, virtuous man, to sliding into the new moon, home base, in a shot of Divine Masculine, deep wave coming into the shore. So 3 of Cups to the 10 of Swords, the 9 of Cups to the Lovers, and the 5 of Cups to the King of Pentacles as I go across the bottom. So this to this, this to this, and then this to this, is celebrating the 2 of Cups to ending pain, self-satisfaction to get to your lover, so loving yourself first in order to get to your lover, and affection, and then grieving until you can look up and see, right, when you're done crying, the King of Pentacles, Akashics. And when I wrote Akashics, I wrote Akaships by accident, which is literally AKA ships, your ships coming in. Okay, so your ship's coming in on the tail of a tidal wave of emotions. All right, so AKA ships or sheiks. And then the number that comes up for this read is 55, which is the Ace of Swords, Excalibur, that truth. Nothing but the truth, so help you God, right? So there's also exposure of energizing, exposure and energizing of the Hierophant, and expansion or exposure of Taurus and conflict, along with the dancing hermit to the Hierophant, with new life offered to dance alongside of each other in divine timing. So that was a nice message as well. So I was getting the 3 of Christ and the 9 out of 10 of the love. So the message here also was Trinity is 9/10 of the love. It's not all of it. So also, but it's saying if you can connect with the Trinity, right? Your connection with God, your connection with the third energy, your mother, father, self. That's 9/10. It's like 9/10 of the law. That's 9/10 of it. You just need the other 10th of your humanness. Also, Trinity, the collective consciousness, the 9, the high vibe destiny of the love. She gives her fire to the divine masculine to go through the growth spurt. So it's like the feminine energy today might be struggling a bit because she's giving her energy over to the masculine so he can get through this last growth spurt to like go through this quickening, this growth spurt, or this fast tracking through this new moon. So the feminine may just be feeling that, okay? So know that you're doing it for a good cause. All right, so that's all 3 of the union reads. Now we're going to get into the divine masculine, divine feminine read. Just put this over here. All right, a little more clearing. Take another deep breath, you guys. And I'm going to show you just the base. And by the way, all the decks looked like that when I went over to look at them this morning. So I took another shot for you so you could see how beautiful it was again. And then, sorry about that. And then this is the basic read that I'll be showing you in just a moment. So you can take a shot of that if you want to refer to the main cards before I open you up to the main read, okay? Okay? All right, so we're going to take this out now, and I'm going to just show you the main read. So I'm going to pull back a little bit so you can see the decks. All right. So this is the divine masculine and divine feminine read. So you'll see by these reads now that I'm doing so much, whatever I say can go both ways. It can be the masculine or it can be the feminine, okay? So pay attention here. It's very interesting. So the SIRIAN Starseed deck, and for those of you who aren't familiar, this is a 7-deck read. The SIRIAN Starseed is the main deck, along with 6 other decks that you see in front of you. All of my decks are listed below in this read. And it is a general read, so if something doesn't resonate with you, then don't force it to fit. There may be some days where nothing really resonates with you, and other days where everything resonates with you. It's for a lot of different people, and for the divine masculine and divine feminine twin flames. If you should need anything from me, all my information is below. I have a CD out there called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames, and that's a great way to support me. The songs only cost $1, so it's under Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames, and Evelyn Stainthorpe. That's on CD Baby, Google Play, Amazon, and iTunes, so you can check that out. And of course, my website is twinflames3344.com, and my email at gmail.com. So the SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 121-2, which is the Magician, the World, and the Fool. So transitioning from the completion of the cycle into the open heart and a leap of faith. 133, I was done the read except for the mini cards. And I was just noting how much stress then I was feeling in my heart and my upper back. So that was very significant because I'm still feeling that as well now. 138 and 33 is the Christ vibration. It's the 7 of Wands. At 138, which is the Queen of Cups, the Magician fell down. He was upright, but he spun upside down onto the divine masculine position. So, you know, 1 minute he's up, 1 minute he's insecure. So 139, and that can be the feminine because the feminine was coming up as the Magician. So 1 minute the feminine's feeling strong, and the next minute she may be feeling like she needs to purge. So 139 is the Knight of Cups and the Magician. And also the Statue of Liberty was coming up there with the 7 points from the 8 of Flames card. It often looks like the points on the crown of the Statue of Liberty. So again, that was coming up about liberty and the feminine strength and liberty. So we finish this read at 140 to 41, which is the Magician, and then the 40 and 41 are the Page of Cups into the Ace of Cups, really beautiful energy, that innocent, pure, unconditional love of a child, and then the Ace of Cups is self-love, spiritual love, and new love. And the major arcana for this read were Indigo and Tower. That was it in the main part of the read. So Indigo is the Magician, and Tower is the Tower. And then we also had before the read the Chariot and Justice. So there's Cancer, Libra, and then for me, Indigo is Gemini and Virgo, but it can also be Aries at times for me. And then Tower is Scorpio. So those are the main energies for the read, but that doesn't mean those are the only signs in the read. That's, of course, not. All the signs come up in the read. So we have 1 Pentacle, 2 Swords, 2 Cups, and 4 Wands. So very much action-oriented today, passion, desire, working out, being passionate with someone, or being creative with someone, or by yourself, but just that physical movement and creativity today. So that was the highest energy. And the Pentacle is the lowest energy, which has to do with work and daily living, basically. Work, money, daily living. All right, so the Queen of Cups came up in the read, and the Page of Cups, that was it. The Queen of Pentacles came up before the read, and after the read, the King of Wands and King of Cups both came up. All right, so in the read, we just had the Queen and Page of Cups, which is that mother-child energy, which was coming up for the masculine in the union read, right, as him being the mother and child. So remember I said that. And the feminine coming up is the Indigo, whereas usually it would be the other way around. The Queen of Pentacles comes up before the read, and like I said, after the read, 2 kings, the King of Wands and the King of Cups. And all the kings and all the queens were, all of the kings and all of the queens, they were all upright today. The Emperor was upright too, but there was 2 to 3 different Empresses represented in the read today. One was upright, the other 2 were reversed. So the other 2 that were reversed could be the same, but they're different energies altogether. So there literally could be 3 different Empresses. And Empresses can be anyone from a partner. It's obviously not a child, but it can be a spouse. It can be a mother. It can be a grandmother. It can be an aunt, you know. It can be a boss. So any of those energies, there's 3 Empresses up in the read today. So a lot of feminine power here, but they're reversed. There's 1 Empress upright, but she's not in the main part of the read. She's more to the beginning of the read. So just so you're aware of that. The kings and queens are great energy. Not all the kid energies are great. Let's see. The Page of Cups, which is the main energy for this read, was reversed. So that energy is coming up reversed. I'm trying to remember if the Page of Swords and Page of Pentacles, all the characters are upright. I'm not sure about the Page of Wands, though. Yeah, the Page of Wands is reversed. So Page of Wands and Page of Cups are both reversed, but all the other court cards are doing well. But not all the knights. So we'll get into that. All right, so we have the numbers in the code line. The code line was all about communication, but it was broken up into calm and unication, right? So unifying. And cation has to do with the atom that's in need of something. Okay, it's not satiated. It has a hole in it. It's hungry. So when you're hungry, you don't magnetize to you. When you're satiated, you do, because when the satiated one is the one who has all these people around them. Everyone loves them. So people are drawn to you, but you don't need anything more. The other person needs something, but they have no one around them. So they're in lack. So the one that's in lack is the cation. So unication was coming up. So unify the cation. So to bring the cation and the anion together, right? That's like the masculine and the feminine coming together in union, and then communicate. And the numbers here were, on the code line, were 94, which is interesting because I rarely get double digits or triple digits, but 94 was an interesting number. It was 84 and 10, and then 94. So about communication, we also had 1224, which is 12 and 24, which is the Hangman and the Queen of Wands. And then we have the 77 and the 88 and the 10. 77 is Sovereign, 88 is the twins dancing side by side in their balance and their dance. And the 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. We have the 4 of the Emperor, 78 of the 10 of Pentacles, 47 of the 7 of Cups, And then in a lesser sense, 34 of the Eight of Wands, 45 of the Five of Cups, 56 is the Two of Swords, and 13, which is the transition or death card. And then 810, which is 81 with a lot of zero behind it, which is the end of karma, which is also what the Queen of Wands was marking today. So it's like the Queen of Wands represents the crowd with Jesus being hung, right? The karma of the crowd. So as about communication, the code line was all about, it was very simple here today. It was about as the twin dances, as the masculine dances in unions and homes, their high vibe, the high vibe destiny of the divine feminine, but also the divine feminine within him, calms the unication. Okay, so it's needing to do things to calm yourself. So there may have things that trigger the divine feminine today. Definitely there's a little bit of, 3D work that came up that was a little bit irritating that I had to remind myself to stay present to. So you may have been experiencing the same thing today. And don't forget, the feminine may be feeling frustrated because the masculine may be really taxing her energy because she's helping him to get through this quickening, like I said. So when I also, in the code line, ASA comes up, which is aspirin. So I felt for me it was a message to take a baby aspirin because I used to take aspirin. I don't anymore. But I felt like it might have been a message for me to take a baby aspirin for the masculine because we feel each other's medicine as well. So I don't know if their heart was really being stressed today. They may have needed a little bit of aspirin there. So that 84 was coming up, but I was getting the aspirin 84 is very close to 81 milligrams. So that's the message I was getting. It's just about the high vibe feminine energy here. The baby aspirin of flames. And the 84 is reflection of the 48, which is the walking away within. So it's like not walking away within. And then you get stressed out because you're around difficult energies processing your wounding that needs to come up. All right. So that's that tense energy. So it's saying, it literally came up. It literally came up tense Ev. ASA 84 of flames, which was referencing for me the baby aspirin. And then tense Ev, calm unication. So definitely, the feminine being tense today. It doesn't have to be anything significant. It's just, being short on your patience and not being present, right? Bringing yourself right back to the present moment. And then dolphin sounds as well always help. Dolphin sounds or the Tibetan bells or any, calm music or meditation music, anything that you like. All right, and then also Florida came up again today, which is the keys, and the keys came up. So that's significant because those are the points of the triangle, the Bermuda Triangle. We have Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. May, and then I was getting May. Oh, MES, I didn't think of the month of May. So Florida in May, and then Mary Magdalene was coming up as the feminine energy. And MES also can be like my, like in French. So it's like the keys of my Mary Magdalene. The flames that are the keys of my Mary Magdalene. And this is coming from the masculine perspective. So that's very interesting. Okay. So we start this read with the indigo reversed. All right, the underlying energy card over here. And then the cards just below that energy are the Chariot upright, the Ace of Pentacles upright, Justice upright, and the Queen of Pentacles upright. So all this power-packed upright except indigo is reversed. So that's the insecurity of the magician and manipulation perhaps, or don't have the tools to deal with the situation, or perhaps lost tools that they need. Insecurity, manipulation, without tools or lost tools, and after a bold move to start a new life, Justice, divorce, Libra, and Queen of Pentacles. So the world, this could be also a bold move to a new life. And we have Cancer and Libra energies along with the Queen of Pentacles here, which is Earth energy. So any, Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, along with Cancer and Libra energies here. And then, of course, we have the Indigo, which is mainly Gemini and Virgo. So those energies coming up here in the very start. The world, completion, sealed divine feminine holding on, with the worst being over, the bliss state coming in, dropping everything and taking off. The divine feminine or the world, which can represent the community as well, supporting his dropping his responsibilities or confessing and making a clean getaway, as the divine feminine has broad shoulders and can handle the weight of the world, right? And taking on some of the some more energy for the masculine today and helping him out. Grounding, saving, and being moderate. The King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles happy with themselves, and that can just represent the King of Pentacles and his inner child as well. Or it can be an opportunity or invitation of the King of Pentacles. But coming up is happy with self or pleased with himself. And the Knight of Cups there is reversed, which can be someone who's just refusing to be love or give love, or it could be someone who's really moody today, or someone who's jealous, rejected, or insincere, or like I said, moody in the downturn, being stuck at home, offering truth to the King of Swords, or after the King of Swords gave the truth to them, they became moody or feeling rejected. So we had children being difficult or not doing their homework or schoolwork. And I was getting the masculine literally saying, they're killing me. As the King of Swords sits on 88, which is the dance between the masculine and feminine, and 16 candles. So some of the masculines or feminines may have kids turning 16 today, or 16 years of a marriage. And the King of Swords opens his crown and will no longer be taken advantage of by kids, by Mother Goose, or pacifier. The King of Swords all suited up or in his armor, ready to take his crown back. The indigo's reversed. The King of Swords could be Virgo or Gemini, Libra here too. Or the Knight of Cups reversed is Libra, and the King of Swords is Gemini or Virgo. Separation and a 3-hour tour, so here Gilligan's Island comes up again, and a storm warning, stranded on an island unto themselves, choosing new path and or the twin path, suffering in silence and purging it out. Stuck without peace in Akashic records or books, up nights with a headache perhaps. And then I was just getting ha too. What was that reference? Oh, that's right. Ha is 81. So that's why ha came up. Because ha is HA is headache, obviously, but it's also 81, which is the end of karma. It's the end of the life cycle. Like at age 81, you can decide what you want. So the end of karma is coming up again here. Not sleeping, crying, stressed out, and perhaps crooks as well. 358 here at the Empress and the Four of Swords, so that's meditating and connecting in 5D. Then rising above, being stuck in the spokes, right? Maybe if your feet are caught in something there. Got yourself caught up in something, right? So very soon came up, and beneath that was finances and career. Third party or no reunion. The Knight of Cups reversed is insincere, jealous, or feeling rejected, or refusing to give or receive love. And again, it can be a moody child. Reaping rewards with what you got. Letting go of the fantasy to offer something practical and healthy. Perhaps your partner or child has another lover, and getting real about honing in on your options as a masculine or feminine, and trashing what you don't want or need. So again, this has to do with letting go of emotional attachments again. Someone's dealing with messes left on the floor, food, glasses, candles, perhaps kids around leaving all their crap around at night, or having friends over, or people stuck in your house and you have a constant mess there, people sleeping in the living room chair. And the turtle no longer taking their time, or sees others, this is for the masculine too, sees others coming in for the divine feminine, so the turtle no longer taking their time to warm up to romance. The Knight of Pentacles making an offer in hopes she'll accept. And this can also be a masculine trying to apologize to their partner for what they've had to go through as well. So Centaur and Wonder Woman coming up here. After rejected third party, spirituality comes up as number 77, and environment is 44. So you have all these double numbers. 77 is the sovereign, and 44 is the Four of Cups, grounding and integrating and mastering receiving of love. Not telling, not expressing feelings, or no energetic exchange, holding back desires and letting go of a few bucks, looking back, going back to or going back as the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth coming in the aftermath of sudden events, epiphanies, and or state of emergency, brokenness and dumping burdens, confessing to lighten their load. Scorpio reverse, Cancer reverse, dumping a load or a load of responsibilities dumped on them, or spontaneous orgasm when they saw the other, Scorpio trying to hold back, or won't get out of the car because of it, or a car broken down, or somebody hurt their back or hurt themselves working too hard physically and had to take an ambulance to the hospital. Perhaps doing housework and fell off the house, or explosion occurred, or somebody might have gotten shocked. Dropping burdens or holding back, an offer due to insecurity, the King of Swords suffering in silence over the Knight of Pentacles offering help, or the King of Swords suffering in silence so they offer help. Anyway, the offer is something practical and healthy, and it's referencing spirituality here of the Sovereign of 77, so being independent or single again. The recent past is the Eight of Pentacles reversed, overworking, not working, or what you've been doing is not working, looking back or going back, or overworking the past or living there in the past. The Ten of Cups reversed, end of family or emotional cycle, frustrated or uninspired, or Page of Wands reversed with temper tantrums in the downturn or no school. Offering a new life to Queen of Cups upright, or maybe offering a payoff to the Queen of Cups, and then foolishly going back to the Queen of Wands upright, or lacking faith, falling from grace in front of the Queen of Wands. Or the Queen of, and then that was a confirmation. Or the Queen of Wands sent Aries' child to do their dirty work in the past. Aries and Libra here. The foundation is the Seven of Swords upright, passing risky downloads, the Emperor over his grief, loss, or regret, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, dealing with loss of money, or loss of family, or just family dysfunction here, whether it's the community, business, or family, and giving up or surrendering to Devil or Capricorn, which can have to do with your codependencies and addictions, and the King of Cups, who distributes the family, business, or community funds. Or Emperor is giving up on his giving up over his head. Emperor's giving up on his head, is over his head. Maybe the surrendering is over his head. The Devil or Capricorn is getting over it. And the King of Cups is over the Ten of Pentacles reverse, loss, or in control of it, at 450, which is the Emperor and the 50 of the Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment. So then we go to the 451, which is the Emperor and the King of Swords. Perhaps the Emperor is stepping down so that the King of Cups can take over or be in control. The central energy is the Queen of Cups upright, reaping rewards as the Queen of Swords speaking her truth to the Page of Swords and Page of Cups reversed. Or that can just be as well other people around her spreading the word with her, but the Page of Cups, and they could be two children too, like one child may be with them. One child might be happy, the other child's being moody and cranky, or one child is with the Queen of Swords and the other child is not. One spreading the word and the other feels rejected or spoiled and whiny, having been offered love, and then one offering love and then walking away right afterwards. The Page of Cups reversed may be an intuitive, whether it's adult or child, extra sensitive to feeling things, right? So they might get their feelings hurt very easily, which is very typical of both twins. The challenge being the Four of Wands upright, the home or the union, the stability, offering love and then going home. The Knight of Wands rushing in to their kids or twin from the past. In an energetic exchange, the Hermit reversed and the King of Swords, or Virgo and King of Swords, dealing with or about difficult kids or a twin returning. The Divine Masculine happy with themselves and defenseless to energies or attacks. The Knight of Swords rushing in as the messenger of truth, away from dark night and the never-ending story, offering a new life, or offering money, time, and energy to the King of Swords, Hermit reversed. So that can be one person or it can be two separate people. It could be a Virgo energy or a Hermit energy and the King of Swords separate from that, or he literally is that Hermit Virgo energy. A messenger of truth to judgment or an announcement or a wake-up call to action, or the messenger of truth rushing into an Aquarius or an Aquarius moon sign. So, let's see here. So the challenge here again is the Four of Wands at 547, which is the Hierophant and the Seven of Cups. So synchronicities and the Hierophant, which is Taurus. It can be a commitment to anything. It can be a marriage. It can be a religion. It can be an establishment, a tradition, societal norms, God, whatever the commitment is. It's the Hierophant energy. And then we have the Seven of Cups of synchronicities and options and heaven in their eyes. The challenge being the Four of Wands, the home, stability, and union, with the Knight of Wands rushing back to the past with memories of a Hermit reverse and the King of Swords, happy with energetic exchange between them. Being offered a new life or money, time, and perhaps a loan by a Scorpio reversed, while they were also messenger of truth, rushing in to judgment, announcement, a wake-up call, to the Moon reversed, deception, new moon, with the evil Empress reversed and the Magician reversed, dumping all their burdens, confessing, or dumping a load and then walking away, hanging out in disconnect, fighting over justice, divorce, or Libra, feeling guilty for offering love at all, to Taurus, or while married to the Queen of Wands, or Taurus grounding integrating his offer and rejecting it, or Pisces child feels rejected, left out in the cold, or two disconnected, Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups reversed, Page of Pentacles is upright, blocked by the Queen of Wands Taurus, making him beg to see them. So that could be definitely, parents with kids in a divorce. The Queen of Wands can be Aquarius, Aries, Taurus, perhaps Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sagittarius, and or Libra too. And the Queen of Cups is coming up as Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, which is the obvious thing. She comes up more as Cancer though here. Looks like Magician reversed is a male Taurus, not in the underlying energy, but here is different. The Magician's different energy here. So the indigo in the underlying energy, where it's the child, could represent the feminine because that's how she came up in the union read. But this adult masculine Magician isn't the same energy, and it's coming up in this spot more masculine here. So it looks like the Magician reversed is a male Taurus, Aries, Virgo, perhaps with two different Empresses around them, a Taurus upright and a Cancer and or Sagittarius Aries, or King of Cups upright is King of Cups is reversed right here, but only here. He's upright in the rest of the read. So the King of Cups reversed, Empress and Evil Empress, or there's three Empresses present. One could be Cancer, Aquarius, Aries, Virgo, or a Gemini or Scorpio, Pisces. And then the second one could be Taurus, Cancer, and then another one could be Cancer, Sagittarius, Aries. Perhaps Scorpio is testing the exchange rate or seeing how much a lawyer costs, with Hermit reversed, King of Swords, Capricorn, before and then turning around to give it to the Aquarius. So it could be making sure with a lawyer before they actually bring any information or that they want a divorce forward. So it could be all sorts of situations there. And it literally can be an exchange rate too, seeing how much it costs to go to another country and if it's worth going because of the exchange rate before they go back to this Aquarius in an announcement and tell them off or tell them the information. So Taurus, Cancer, or Aquarius judging Pisces or Cancer, Libra. Or mother of the Magician reversed or Scorpio paid the King of Swords to spy on Cancer and make announcements, and or Aquarius, Queen of Wands, Taurus, in a divorce perhaps. Now passing risky downloads, third party to Taurus, Sagittarius, and Cancer. The Knight of Wands is rushing back away from the Empress reversed, who's released from the Hierophant or Taurus, religion or establishment, or the ringleader who played both sides in the past, and that's another Empress. So the ringleader, Empress, and then this other Empress reversed is different than the ringleader. The Empress with the King of Cups reversed, Cancer, is the ringleader, dropping burdens and or confessing. Messed up, she may have messed up or dropped her facade and or breaking patterns with difficult kids or her own childhood. Third party passing downloads to two Tauruses perhaps, or two bulls, and or Sagittarius and Taurus, or mother and child, seeking release from another Empress and Hierophant, or two Tauruses or bulls. The Empress unable to juggle kids by herself. Social distancing or a negative group or bad influences around, or third-party lover to the King of Wands at a distance. Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, and or Gemini, Aries, and Taurus were two different groups that came up here, and that's 630, which is the lovers, and the Four of Wands, the union or the home. It can be marriage and family as well. So 631 is lovers, and then the Five of Wands, which is expansion or conflict or fights, connected at a distance or together and distant, lovers while breaking up a group, or the King of Wands, King of Pentacles, and Justice with Aquarius reversed or depression between them, or Gemini upright, Aquarius reversed, and Libra upright, and Libra is knowing but keeping to themselves or pretending not to know, and at night an announcement, judgment, or wake-up call, or a phone call, of the Empress reversed, Messenger of Truth, and Magician reversed with Scorpio in their chart, getting over grief, loss, and regret by dumping a load in an energetic exchange with the Queen of Swords, who could be an Aquarius or a Virgo or someone who's depressed, walking away through to the Hermit reverse, the King of Swords or King of Wands, Libra, Capricorn, and the Queen of Swords and King of Wands in the 5D world, with their antenna connection, without an antenna, no rabbit ears, avoiding the dance while in disconnect, not face to face, and strong tempering of the inner beast, or Leo or ego, fighting with Justice, or Libra, and or divorcing with secret out, and feeling guilty, offering love, and then ghosting, and then offering his third energy up to the all-business partner in crime, overworking or no longer interested in his penis, or trying to let him back in, or Capricorn always overworking and partner is stuck with kids, or vice versa. Lovers not talking, which is affecting the group at work or the social group, and the King of Wands, King of Pentacles, and Aquarius reversed, and Justice, Judge, or Libra trying to stay out of it, getting peace of mind via 5D. Soon as the Ten of Wands reversed, letting go of burden, responsibilities, or dumping a load, or confessing, the Page of Pentacles, student, opportunity, or invitation, or studying the gold coin in disconnect, while two left out in the cold, with frustrated Queen of Wands, one child or divine feminine happy with themselves, with the Knight of Wands dumping on them, but could care less, and the King of Swords over isolating or coming out about their past, or protection for the children. The Queen of Wands, Taurus, or married or religious person, or someone who is the establishment, or actually with a religious leader now, or a spoiled child of one, or her Pisces child with temper tantrums when they don't get their way, or parents leaving kids to fend for themselves. A good student is fine with that, but the Pisces may not be. Or one child is with one parent and the other child is not, and may be jealous, could be Pisces, Taurus, Queen of Wands, child here. And the twin flames are seeing themselves as the Page of Cups reversed, feeling rejected, vulnerable, and shy, or spoiled and entitled, insecure, dumping emotional attachments, all except one, and still grounding and integrating even that one. Home or in union, offering truth to the Chariot or Cancer. Twins here coming up as Gemini, Virgo, Aries, Cancer and Pisces, water, air, and fire. Past life relationship, you deserve love, let go of control issues, and soulmate all come up for the twins at 654, the lovers, and the Page of Swords, which is the message or spreading the word. At 655, the lovers and the truth, the Ace of Swords, Excalibur. Around the twins are how they are seen as the Eight of Wands, energetic exchange, and lacking faith at the new moon. Or an Aries reversed with Cancer, Queen of Cups, at her feet, on a quest to rise above and be patient and take one step at a time. The block for the twins here is about the Tower being upright. Sudden events, drama, explosions, epiphanies, eruptions, blowing your top, your crown, and or your cover, suddenly, if hanging out with the Queen of Pentacles, while the Queen of Wands is hanging above you, frustrated, or hanging over your head, right? So that could be the masculine's perspective. Or while she's still grounding and integrating his offer of love or apology. So masculine may have apologized, and she's still deciding whether she's going to accept his apology. And so his block has to do with sudden moments or sudden events or epiphanies that may come up if he should hang out with the Queen of Pentacles here. So unication, communication comes up, but even more so patience, health, and parenting. Overworking it or no more connection with partner at all, refusing his offers of sex and or marking his territory, and only parenting. Six of Swords without peace of mind, good news, success, back in the saddle, or journey through all of the drains and the difficult kids and the Leo and or ego reversed and the overexposure through the powerlessness and those not using their intuition or your secret passion or that secret being out. Learning to go on the journey, get back on the saddle and walk through all of this. Like I was talking about today, there may be certain things that come up during the day that you have to keep reminding yourself to come back to your present moment. No peaceful place to go to be strong, or with Leo strong-arming him or her, fighting in court, in divorce, or with Libra guilty of offering love, or guilty of lying, cheating, or stealing, and still offering love to Taurus, Queen of Wands, grounding and integrating the offer, working it in her favor. So that's a manipulation energy coming up there. The King of Wands shaman offering help, money, or work to Leo, or Earth and Fire settling out with each other. King of Wands, Virgo, Sagittarius may be making an offer to Leo or to Leos or Libra and Pisces, and the King of Wands, Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave in exile from the group with the King of Cups upright in separation, post-war, PTSD, jealousy, insincerity, rejection, and coming together to work in spite of all that. Leo, Virgo, and shaman without peace. All right, so we're ending the read here. Everyone's working together in co-creation, but no one's happy about it. It's very interesting. There's no peace. So the worst is over and bleeding out, with the Hermit shedding light on it, and juggling, performing, balancing, with the King of Cups upright, and perhaps two kids, or kids and work being juggled, and the King of Cups is one of them, or a parent. The King of Cups doesn't have to be a parent. It can be a child. It can be a grandparent as well. But the indigo reversed is insecure and defenseless to drama, rejected and vulnerable in the energetic exchange between the twins, working to align with the Queen of Cups and challenged by home and or family instability, dumping a load, confessing, and suddenly, and perhaps having epiphanies and passing risky downloads without peace. The King of Wands in exile with the King of Cups upright, they're both upright, in separation while working together. All right, so there's definitely tensions here. And indigo's reversed after a Cancer offers a new life to Libra, or settlement offered to the Queen of Pentacles, or the Chariot's just a bold move to offer this new life to the Justice, a divorce, or a Libra, or a settlement, to the Queen of Pentacles, who could be the Libra here, or Queen of Pentacles Libra with Virgo or Gemini, insecure, working to free self of burdens, heavy load, defenseless to energies or attacks, and that was at 717, which is the Chariot and the Star. And then at 718, which is the Chariot and the Moon, the Queen of Cups, coming up as Cancer energy, is challenged by home stability and passing risky downloads. The Page of Cups reversed, rejected, vulnerable, and shy, or feeling entitled, dumps their burdens but without peace. And the Queen of Cups with energetic exchange with them. It's coming up more as like the Page of Cups reversed is the masculine, and the Queen of Cups is the feminine. In an energetic exchange suddenly with epiphanies in need of peace for the King of Wands out in the cold, or the Hermit is with the King of Cups upright in heartbreak, separation, or three-way situation with PTSD versus jealousy, and all of those energies working together to co-create. The three worlds split, the service to self, service to others, and the third energy, the collective consciousness, the Gaia to the central sun, the 3D, 5D, and etheric realms at 723 here, which is the Chariot and the King of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is overworking or not working at all, and she definitely can be a Taurus or Aries energy. Aquarius was coming up for her as well. The Queen of Cups is coming up as Cancer, but it can be a Scorpio or Pisces in certain situations as well. But she's coming up as passing downloads to Virgo, Air, Aries, or Sagittarius. The Queen of Pentacles could be a Capricorn and or a Scorpio. And the Emperor and all kings, like I said, were upright. The Empress 2 times is reversed, and there's another Empress that's upright. So one So the empresses. One could be the empress of a father, right? And then one could be a father, brother, or son. What am I getting here? The empress can be married to the emperor. She could be the emperor's ex, or she could be married to the king of cups, or she could be one of their mothers. Okay. Yeah, so she could be the emperor's mother or the king of cups mother, or married to one of them. Okay, so she's coming up in lots of different positions. It could be. So one, it's like for the masculine or the feminine, one father of either one of them, or even one of the partners of them, your karmic partner. And just because I say karmic doesn't mean they're not a soulmate. It's just so you understand the difference about who I'm talking about. So one father could be the emperor, and your father-in-law could be the king of cups, or vice versa, or they could be grandparents as well. So and then the king of cups, though, could be a son as well. Like my son is a king of cups. So that is the read for you guys. I'm only going to pull a quick energy card and then show you the read, because it's a long read already. We're at 116.03 and 4, which is the Emperor and the Empress, and the 16 candles and the Tower, and the 1 of the Magician. So everybody take a deep breath. For everybody watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned. What do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear all dark, negative, and violent energies again across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, can we just get a closing card here? What was the point of these reads today? What is the takeaway? What is the most important message? All right, so that came right out. 7th chakra, your crown. That came up a lot today. Archangel Uriel, 41, which is self-love, spiritual love, and new love. Okay, and your crowning moment, graduation. So there's a lot of graduations coming up. So that's one card. This card wants to come up to the 28 of victory. So again, victory is coming up again. And this is very much about the victory within. You know, she's very in a calm place. And that was the message in the code line today, is calming the tense divine feminine. Right? Because the masculine may need to use your energy at times, and that might stress you out. As soon as one of your little stressful situation comes up, learning to bring yourself back in each moment. And then we have cornucopia of the 11, which is justice. Right? So justice will be abundance, okay? And then the underlying energy is the hostilities. There you go. There's the anger on the masculine side. So that can be the masculine coming out in the feminine and the masculine, okay? 26 is the Page of Wands. It's the little boy who's frustrated, and the hostilities that come up. Okay, so little bits of impatience can be coming up from both sides, so be aware of that. Okay, so we just to show you all the cards together, we had these 3 cards came out together, and then the underlying energy here, which is the hostilities. Okay. So this is how important it is for the feminine to stay grounded, to keep grounding these spurts of anger, all right? Because you have to do it together. It's the dance together. And underneath that anger, though, for the masculine even, was rest and rejuvenation. So 1 minute he's this, and 1 minute he's this. It's the dance, okay? So learning how to stay present in the moment. So that is the most important message there. So I'm going to show you the cards and then let you go. So we have the indigo reversed there. That's the underlying energy. The recent past is the 8 of crystals. The foundation here is the 7 of flames with all those clarifiers. The central energy here is the Queen of Cups upright, challenged by the 4 of Wands upright, which is actually in itself very lovely energy. The underlying energy is there. And then the crowning card is that 7 of swords, which here is very much about passing downloads. And then the 4D bridge going across to the 10 of flames, which is reversed today, letting go of those burdens and the weight of the world upon your shoulders. And then we have the masculine and the feminine seeing themselves as the queen or the page of cups reversed, but there's very much the energy more of the masculine on this side and the feminine over here with the queen of cups. Okay, so the 8 of flames is what's around, and that's reversed as well, so feeling defenseless to those energies. And then we have the Tower upright here as the block for the masculine and feminine, being afraid of sudden happenings, right? And that you won't be ready for it. All right, and then we end up here, look at the colors. We all have these oranges to golds, Okay, so very much about the solar plexus and the sacral energies, as well as the gold, the Christ light above you, to make sure you clear your energies a lot. And we have the Six of Swords, which is no peace because it's reversed. And then we have the King of Wands shaman, the Five of Pentacles above that, which is upright, and the King of Cups, which is upright, and then the Three of Swords, which is also upright, and then ending up there with the Three of Pentacles, which is, for me, is the card of co-creation. And there's your underlying energy of the green and purple, which is the heart and the third eye energies, which may be some of the cause of some of the stress going on today. All right, guys, make sure you drink your water. Make sure to drink enough, get enough rest. I didn't get enough rest last night. Get your joy and get your nature and, you know, your exercise. And rise and be love, you guys. I'll see you. Bye.